I told you guys that my last batch of watermelon soap was going to be the last for the summer, but you sold it out so quickly that I made one more. I tried a new design and named it Watermelon Swirl because I attempted a swirled layer, a solid layer, and then another swirled layer. The first layer, of course, represents the rind, and I go with kind of a lighter green and then a deep green and swirl those together. Next is the white layer that I try to make as thin as possible, which is hard because it has to be thick enough to layer, but thin enough to be thin. The third layer is a light pink swirled with a bright red watermelon shade, and this is my favorite part. Normally when I make watermelon soap, I will just do a solid red shade, but I feel like the swirl gives so much more fun dimension to the bar. I used my favorite watermelon fragrance of all time that's called Watermelon Sugar, and it has notes of watermelon, honeydew, mandarin, strawberry, and lily of the valley. I hope if you missed the first batch, you'll snag this one. This comment on the making video of my watermelon sugar soap absolutely cracked me up because I am just so awkward. I get so many comments that I'm really monotone or I sound like I'm reading a script, and the reality is that I never read a script and I just do it off the top of my head every single time. Since I do this, I feel like I get a lot of awkward, funny moments, and like I said for this bar, I was trying to get the white to be thick enough to swirl but thin enough to be thin. The goal behind this bar was to make a swirled layer, then a solid layer, and another swirl layer. Normally, I make that top layer just a solid red watermelon shade, but I thought if I swirled a pink and a red together, it would make it pop more. So I did the swirled rind layer, the white layer, and then that swirled watermelon fruit layer, and I think it looks so cute. I scented this bar with notes of watermelon, honeydew, mandarin, strawberry, and lily of the valley. It smells like watermelon sugar.